this is our one-room schoolhouse video demo for Latin. And so in our little classroom we have that go from 6 years old, we have an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, and an 11-year-old. So
8 and 14.
And that gives you a frame of reference. Okay. Alright, so we've already written the sentence. I don't do dictation for Latin, I just let everyone copy. And so our sentence is, Romani barbaros in Gallia vincebunt. Okay. So then, again, I generally start with the youngest student and ask them to tell me anything they can recognize. So, Jeb, what do you see? You see anything you recognize up here?
NT.
Okay, the NT ending.
Third declension.
It's not, it's third person.
Third person.
Third person, you know if it's singular or plural?
Singular?
Nope, good guess. It's actually plural. So who remembers, these are all our verb endings, right? Who remembers our verb endings? Let's say them out loud. O, mus, his, tis, Alright. And this column is what?
Be singular.
Is singular. And what's this column?
Plural.
Plural. And what about our rows? What are these?
First, second, and third person.
First, second, and third person. So, is our third person plural ending. So I'll write that up here. Third and plural. Okay? Alright, Aubrey, what do you see that you recognize?
I see OS.
You see OS ending? Okay. And do you remember where the OS ending comes from?
Yes, it comes from second declension.
Second declension. Okay, so everybody on your boards, real quick, let's write down the second declension endings. On your mark, get set, go. I'll race you.
Mommy, can I not race because
Done.
I want to?
Oh, you beat me. Okay, so we've got our endings, and what column is this right here?
The singular
This is singular. What column is this?
and plural.
All right, and let's see, what are our cases? Nominative,
Genitive.
genitive,
Dative.
dative,
Accusative, and ablative.
ablative. And so our os ending right here,
It's accusative.
all right, it's accusative and it's plural. So we'll write that up here, accusative and plural. All right. Okay, and we can also write that it's a second declension. Okay, Kellen, what do you see that you recognize?
That Romani, it's like Roman.
Okay, Romani, that looks something like Roman, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Preston, what do you recognize?
The ba indicates that it's an imperfect verb.
Okay, here in our verb, BA is a tense indicator, right? And it indicates that it's imperfect. So I'll put that up here. Okay. Jeb, is there anything else that you recognize? We'll start back over with the youngest.
We need to ask if we need to check if there's a capital at the beginning and if there's a punctuation at the end.
Okay, good. So we do have a capital letter at the beginning and a punctuation at the end. Aubrey, anything else that you recognize?
I see another bra. B-A.
Here?
Yeah.
Very good. But you know what? This is not a verb. This is a noun. So we don't have a tense indicator in our nouns. Okay? But that's good looking. Anything else that you recognize?
The N is a preposition.
In. Yeah, we recognize that. In English, it's the preposition in. And in Latin, guess what? It's also the preposition in. Okay? Kellen, you see anything you recognize?
Like Barbaros, kind of looks like barber or something.
Kind of looks like barber. Okay? Doesn't mean barber, though. Let's see. Anything else you want to recognize about our endings? Let's check on our endings first. Preston.
Gallia, it's first declension ablative.
Okay, what's the ending for that word?
A.
Okay, the A, and we recognize that that's first declension. Good. So ready, everybody? Let's do our first declension endings on your mark. Get set, go.
The Jan.
Oh, good job. Good job. Okay. And so again, we have our singular and our plural and our cases. We won't redo those. And so, we see, what case is that, Preston?
Ablative.
It's ablative and it's singular. Who remembers what the job of ablative is? Ablative.
Object of the preposition.
Object of the preposition, good. And oh look, we've got a preposition right here. So that's pretty good that they probably go together. Alright, anybody recognize anything else? We don't have anything written about Romani except that we know it has something to do with Roman. Anybody else recognize something?
It has an E.
Oh, an E ending.
I.
Yeah, the I, we say an E, don't we? And where does that come from?
Second declension.
It comes from second declension and yeah, it's probably nominative plural. What's the job of nominative?
Subject.
Nominative subject. Okay, so now let's go for our endings. So we've got Roman, but we see that it's supposed to be plural. So what should we put here?
Roman.
Romans, let's make it. Okay? And barbaros. That sounds like another English word besides barbar.
Barbarian.
Barbarian, that's right. And so, but it's also plural, so what should I write?
Barbarian.
Barbarians. Okay? And then Gallia. Who remembers what Gallia is? We studied this a little bit in our geography last year. It might sound like a word we studied.
Gaul.
It sounds like Gaul, that's right. And it is Gaul. You remember where Gaul is?
In France.
In France, good. And Winkebont. Preston, how about you help us out? What does Winkebont mean?
Something to do with defeating.
Defeat, that's right, we're defeating. Okay, so since it's imperfect, we're going to say we're defeating. And we know that it's a third person plural. What's the pronoun that goes with third person plural? They. And so we'll use they if we need to. If there isn't a subject in the sentence, we can use this for our subject. Okay? We'll just put it in parentheses because if we need it. Kellen.
Mommy, why does Roman have an S and barbarian?
Well, because they're both plural.
I know,
Now we've
but
got to see what their jobs are in the
Wouldn't it
sentence.
kind of be weird? Romans, barbarians.
Well, right, but we've got to see what their jobs are and see how we're going to translate the sentence. So, Romans is nominative, which means its job is what?
Subject.
Subject. Let's put a big S above there. Okay? Now, barbaros, it's accusative. So what's its job? Accusative. Direct object. Okay? In is a preposition.
Object of the preposition.
Object of the preposition. So we have an object of the preposition with a preposition. And then right here, this is our what?
Verb.
It's our verb. Now, is our verb transitive or not?
Transitive.
Why do you say transitive?
Because it has a direct
Because
object.
it has a direct object. Good, just like in our English grammar. So now we've got to rearrange the sentence and put it in order the way we would say it in English. So what do we put at the beginning of our sentences? What do you think we should put here at the
The
beginning?
capital letter. What?
Yeah?
Romans.
Which word? How about the Romans? Now, why can we add the?
There's no translations for the article A and D.
That's right. That was from our Cycle 3 memory work. There's no translation for the articles A, N, or D, so we can add it wherever we want.
I think it will be
The Romans.
and barbarians.
What should come after our subject?
The
Right, Karen?
Romans in Gaul were defeating barbarians.
Okay, we could say that.
I
We could
thought
say the Romans in Gaul.
in Gaul they were defeated.
Well, we don't have to use they because we have our subject, so we don't have to. So we can say the Romans in Gaul
were defeated.
were defeating.
Barbarians.
We're defeating what?
Barbarians.
Okay, and we can even put in another article. We're defeating the barbarians.
I thought it would be like the Romans.
Maybe you can do a
Now, another way we could say it is the
Why is it put in
Romans.
S in Gauls?
And
Oh, I shouldn't have put that. Thank you, Con. We
the
could say the Romans were defeating the barbarians in Gaul. And that might even sound a little bit better. The Romans were defeating the barbarians in Gaul.
The
Okay?
Romans in Gaul were defeating.
Alright, who can diagram this in Latin? Let's see if we can diagram it in Latin. So I'm going to erase our English translation.
That'll be harder.
because we're just going to diagram it in Latin. Do you ever remember what we draw, how we draw our diagram?
Yes, across and down.
Okay. And what goes on this side, Aubrey?
The subject,
And what goes on this side?
the verb.
Or we also call it
The
predicate.
predicate. Good. Okay.
Their subject
So let's
and
put
the
our
verb.
subject over here.
Subject.
And we'll put our verb. Good. Good job. Oh, y'all are done. Y'all are real fast. Our direct object. And where do we put our prepositional phrase? In Gaul.
Under the verb.
It goes under the verb
The diagram.
because it answers what question?
Where?
Right, so it makes it an adverbial clause, doesn't it? An adverbial phrase. In Gallia. Alright, so that is our Latin demo.